Do you like stealth? Yeah, I like stealth. And the Chinese are as good at it, better at it than anybody else. They have snuck up on us, and we now have a major problem, not just in our backyard that we're going to talk about primarily, but around the world. This is frightening. China is strapped economically, but they're taking the long view, and the long view threatens every single one of you. Don't get caught off guard by the next crisis. Just-in-time deliveries end in a crisis on day one, where the shelves get empty. So I'm going to strongly suggest to you that you go to My Patriot Supply and you order the 3-month food supply. You're going to get a month free, $247 value. You know what? Yeah, 25-year shelf life, restaurant quality food. All you got to do to get ready is go to preparewithdave.com. This fits our model. Food, water, guns, gold, ammo, natural medicine, tools, the Bible, the Constitution. That's your essential first level preparations. Food is right there at the top. Go to preparewithdave.com. Well, I don't know how we prepare for what's coming here. Um, the Chinese, as you see, if you're watching on social media, you'll see it in the thumbnail. If not, you have to listen to this. But the Chinese have built Belt Road Initiative to most of the major ports in the world. Let's start globally and then we'll focus on our backyard where I believe the greatest threat is. The port of Rotterdam is connected to Asia. So is Antwerp. Those are the two biggest ports in Europe, and the Chinese control the access by land. It tells you where this is going. And this is just two examples of many that I could run through. Um, 22 years ago, we moved into our house. It was about 6 months in early 2004. We discovered our property rights were being stripped away. We were lied to. Oh, you're too close to an Air Force base. No, we weren't. That was a lie. We were in the way of the Canamex highway system. And there was an expanded system with a free trade agreement too, called Free Trade Area of the Americas. And that would come out of South America, incorporate the Central American Free Trade Agreement with the Canamex highway system into America through places like Brownsville, Yuma, San Diego. This is scary, scary stuff. But there is a gap. It's called the Darien Gap, which is Panama separated from South America. And the Chinese are dominating. And many of the Panamanian people aren't even aware of it, but they're building a constructed bridge across the Darien Gap. Not only that, they were present during the massive migration where they had Darien Gap camps. And we reported on the fact the communist Chinese were prevalent. In fact, we actually identified for you, and we had Sam Arnold on, our Central and South American expert. And we talked about the fact there were three primary immigration routes into the United States. You had number one, the masses. Okay. Then you had the NGO sponsored where they'd have halfway houses every so far where they would feed the migrants, repair their shoes, give them new clothing if they needed. That was the NGOs, places like Catholic Charities. That was the second route. The third route paralleled the Pacific coming out of the Darien Gap, and this was exclusively Chinese. And this was the red alert that I raised. And then remember, we had the Border Patrol encounters with Chinese that were really military. Their mannerisms were military. They had IDs. We published pictures of that on our website. We did videos on this. We did shows on this. We had J.J. Carroll on to talk about this, as well as Sam Arnold and other experts. Well, the migrants may be down in number because they're having trouble crossing, but the Chinese routes are still there. And this is what the fundamental problem becomes. And this is where we need to take a step back and we need to say, Why would the Chinese be interested in this route? Well, number one, they're going to get the Panama Canal. The Panamanian military, their border patrol, military, and intelligence all rolled into one. We don't have anything like that in America, but they do. They're well trained. They're trained by our spec ops, Army Rangers, Navy SEALs, and they're very, very good at what they do, but they don't have the muscle to keep the Chinese out. And the Chinese, one day, I mean, we're going to have a confrontation at the Panama Canal. You got to hope it doesn't get destroyed. The Chinese are determined to get it, but that's not where this stops. Think Red Dawn. This, you look at South America. Most of South America is anti-American. Most of it. Some of Central America is anti-American. And this is a land-based invasion route being constructed into the United States. And it's not necessarily in 3 months or 6 months or even 2 years. But when we have our enemies, and China, make no mistake about it, is our enemy, constructing pathways that will lead to an international corridor system, the Canamex highway system. This is how they're going to transport their goods. This is scary. And if they occupy the Panama Canal, how much of our trade can they cut off? Well, actually, quite a bit. And this will have a huge economic impact on the United States as well. China is beginning to formulate their Belt and Road Initiative to control the major ports of the world. This is scary stuff. And I don't think we can count on help from Mexico. El Salvador is an ally, but they'll be gobbled up. Honduras, Guatemala, they're kind of neutral, more anti-American than not. Cartel dominated. Yeah. And the Chinese, who do they do business with? Exactly. This is the Red Dawn under early construction. We raised that question before when we say, why would the Chinese be involved in massive migration and helping to promote and sponsor camps in the Darien Gap? They got a foothold. And if you think that's where they're going to stop, you don't understand the Chinese mentality. We have a lot to worry about. My name is Dave Hodges. This is The Common Sense Show. Hey, check out our TV show, the HIP series, Hiding in Plain Sight, Psychology, Sociology, Powers of the Mind, Repressed Technology, Hidden Secrets. Our great interviews are there. People love it. It's a little off the beaten path from what we do here, and people like the variation. So do I. It's fun to do. TheCommonSenseShow.tv is where you want to go to sign up.